Imagine logging into your favorite online game after a long day. You queue up for a ranked match, heart pounding, ready to test your skills. The game loads, the match begins, and within minutes, something feels off. Your opponent reacts instantly to every move, never misses a shot, never hesitates, never makes the kinds of mistakes that make competition human. You lose badly, again and again. Then a thought creeps in. Was I even playing against a real person? This isn't science fiction. This isn't a future problem. This is happening right now across modern games at every level of play. Artificial intelligence, once celebrated as the next great leap forward in gaming, is quietly reshaping competitive balance, player trust, and even the meaning of fairness. And in many cases, it's breaking the very games it was meant to enhance. Today, we're diving deep into how AI-powered bots are infiltrating modern games, why they're so difficult to stop, how they impact real players, and what this means for the future of gaming as we know it. For decades, bots in games were simple. They followed predictable paths, used scripted behaviors, and served as training tools or placeholders. Early shooters, strategy games, and sports titles relied on rule-based AI that could challenge beginners, but quickly fell apart against experienced players. These bots didn't adapt, they didn't learn, and most importantly, they didn't pretend to be human. That changed with advances in machine learning and data-driven AI. Modern bots can now analyze massive datasets of human gameplay, learn optimal strategies, and react in milliseconds. They don't just follow rules, they identify patterns, predict outcomes, and adjust their behavior in real time. This leap didn't happen overnight. It came from progress in neural networks, reinforcement learning, and increased computing power, many of the same technologies driving breakthroughs in self-driving cars and language models. In gaming, these tools have legitimate uses. Developers employ AI to test game balance, detect bugs, and simulate player behavior at scale. But the same techniques have also been adopted by third-party developers and bad actors who use AI to automate gameplay, farm rewards, and gain unfair advantages in competitive environments. The result is a new generation of bots that don't look like bots anymore. One of the most visible impacts of AI bots is in competitive multiplayer games. In shooters, AI-driven aim assistance tools, often referred to as aimbots, have become more sophisticated than ever. Traditional cheats relied on simple target locking or crude overlays. Modern AI-based systems use computer vision to analyze the game screen in real time, identifying enemy models, predicting movement, and adjusting aim with near-perfect accuracy. What makes this especially dangerous is that these systems don't need direct access to the game's code. By interpreting visual output the same way a human does, they can bypass many traditional anti-cheat methods. From the game's perspective, the player is simply moving their mouse and pressing buttons. There's no injected code, no altered memory, just inhumanly precise input. This has led to an arms race between cheat developers and game studios. Anti-cheat software now uses behavioral analysis, tracking things like reaction times, aim consistency, and movement patterns. But even here, AI fights AI. Cheat developers train their bots to introduce artificial, human-like errors, missing occasionally, hesitating slightly, to avoid detection. For legitimate players, the experience can be devastating. Competitive integrity erodes when skill no longer determines outcomes. Ranked ladders lose meaning. Esports aspirations feel pointless when victory might hinge on who has the better software, not the better reflexes or strategy. But shooters are only part of the story. AI bots are also deeply affecting massively multiplayer online games and live service titles built around progression systems. In these games, time is currency. Players grind for levels, gear, in-game money, or cosmetic rewards. Powered bots can automate this process around the clock, farming resources at a scale no human could match. These bots don't just follow fixed routines. They adapt to changing conditions, avoid detection by mimicking human play schedules, and even respond to in-game messages. In some cases, players have held conversations with bots without realizing it, because the AI was designed to send basic social responses to avoid suspicion. The economic impact is real. When bots flood a game's marketplace with farmed currency or items, inflation skyrockets. Legitimate players see their hard-earned progress devalued. Developers are forced to intervene, often with aggressive bans or economic resets that can also hurt innocent users. From a design perspective, this creates a vicious cycle. Developers increase grind to slow bot efficiency, but that also makes the game less enjoyable for real players. Frustration grows, player counts drop, and the game's community suffers, all because automated systems exploited mechanics that were originally designed for human engagement. Another area where AI bots are breaking games is matchmaking and player trust. In some online titles, bots are intentionally introduced by developers to reduce queue times or help onboard new players. While this can improve accessibility, it becomes problematic when players aren't clearly informed. Studies and player reports have shown that many users feel deceived when they later discover that supposedly competitive matches were filled with bots. The illusion of skill progression collapses when victories are revealed to be against AI opponents rather than real people. This sense of manipulation damages trust between players and developers. Now add unauthorized AI bots into that environment, and the confusion multiplies. Players can't tell whether they're facing an official bot, a cheating AI, or a highly skilled human. Every impressive play becomes suspect. Every loss feels unfair. The social fabric of multiplayer gaming, built on shared understanding and mutual respect, begins to unravel. This erosion of trust may be one of the most serious long-term consequences. Games thrive on communities. When players no longer believe in the legitimacy of what they're experiencing, they disengage, even if the core gameplay remains solid. It's important to understand that not all AI in gaming is harmful. In fact, some of the most exciting developments in game design come from advanced AI systems. Procedural content generation uses AI to create dynamic worlds, quests, and narratives. Adaptive difficulty systems analyze player behavior to provide tailored challenges. Non-player characters powered by advanced AI can feel more alive, responsive, and emotionally engaging than ever before. The problem isn't AI itself. The problem is misuse, lack of transparency, and the imbalance between rapidly evolving tools and slower, moving regulatory or enforcement systems. Unlike traditional cheating, AI-based bots can be developed and distributed outside the game's ecosystem. They don't rely on exploiting a specific vulnerability that can be patched easily. Instead, they leverage general-purpose AI models and hardware that are becoming cheaper and more accessible every year. This means the barrier to entry is lowering. What once required advanced programming skills can now be assembled using existing machine learning frameworks and consumer-grade GPUs. As AI literacy spreads, so does the potential for abuse. Game studios are not standing still. Major developers invest heavily in anti-cheat research, machine learning detection systems, and human moderation teams. Some companies collaborate across the industry, sharing data and techniques to combat emerging threats. Others pursue legal action against cheat developers, targeting the commercial networks behind bot distribution. However, enforcement is costly, imperfect, and often reactive. For every detection method deployed, new evasion strategies appear. False positives can harm innocent players, while overly aggressive measures risk privacy concerns, especially when behavioral data is analyzed at scale. There's also a philosophical challenge. At what point does exceptional human skill start to resemble AI behavior? Professional players train to minimize reaction times and optimize decision-making. As detection systems become stricter, distinguishing between elite performance and automated assistance becomes increasingly complex. This raises difficult questions about fairness, surveillance, and the future relationship between players and platforms. Looking ahead, the intersection of AI and gaming will only deepen. As AI models grow more capable, the line between human and machine play will continue to blur. Voice synthesis, natural language generation, and behavioral modeling could allow bots to fully impersonate human players in social spaces, guilds, and competitive ladders. At the same time, AI could empower developers and players in unprecedented ways. Smarter moderation tools could reduce toxicity. Better testing could lead to more balanced releases. Creative tools could allow players to design worlds, characters, and stories with AI assistance. The challenge will be governance. Clear rules, ethical guidelines, and transparent communication will be essential. Players need to know when they're interacting with AI and when they're competing against humans. Developers need systems that protect integrity without alienating their communities. If you care about fair competition, meaningful progression, and the soul of modern games, this is a conversation you need to be part of. If you found this deep dive insightful, make sure to like the video. It helps the channel more than you might think. Subscribe for more in-depth explorations of technology, gaming, and the forces shaping our digital world. And stay connected, because the story of AI in gaming is far from over.